morning, Central Texas. Welcome to Kids Community Connections at My Kids 1031. Phyllis Jones, your host, and you know what? I'm still going to complain. I want my 40-degree weather. Somewhere, somebody stole it, and I want it back. You know, above 85, it's got to go. I'm serious. Above 85, craziness begins. And I'm going to warn everybody, too. You know, when it's 100 degrees, do not ask me a question outside. Because you're going to get the dumbest answer on earth because you had the nerve to stop me and it's hot. Because my brain is only thinking, you stopped me, it's hot outside. So why are you asking me a question? Don't even ask me my name because I probably won't even know it because it's hot outside. So, you know, if you ask me a question, I give you that crazy look, just leave me alone. And, you know, consider me being like the kids I work with. I work with special needs 3-year-olds. I become one of them at the time. I'm going to give you that look. Then just go walk off because I don't have time. Okay, you know, I always have a community box before we talk, you know, but this time I got a good community box. I'm not stepping on no toes this time. Nobody gonna say ouch. Well, if you do, that's okay though. But my first Friday for this month, we were at Mr. Bay's, where he sells African tire and everything like that. But you know what happened? I'm gonna name names this time. First, this guy named Ray came in and he was sitting down, and Ray used to spit a long time ago. And there was a young lady there, I'm not going to say her name though, but she was there and she had never heard him do this. In fact, she really didn't even know what it was. So I'm like, hey, Ray, come on, do something for her. So he did some okay, I'll say spoken word. He did some spoken word for her, and she was floored because she didn't know that's what he did. Then all of a sudden, this was supposed to happen. John Crow walks in. Okay, if you know what, he's a spit master too, you know, so here go Crow, and he came in. I'm like, okay, Crow, come on now. You know, you got Ray here, you here, come on, y'all gotta do this. So he did his thing, and everybody was like, what? I didn't know you did that. Okay, and then, you know, so we're all sitting around talking about the days when spoken word was spoken word, you know, when they told the story. And then they defined the difference between spoken word and poetry. And you have some younger people there who thought they were the same. So they let you know that they're not the same. Then all of a sudden, here comes Dominique. And if y'all know Dominique, I retired from spoken word. I don't do it no more. Dominique saw the brothers, and because we're all connected to under one roof, he saw the brothers when he walked in. Bam, you know. Dominique did his. he did his, and it became a different atmosphere at that time because you saw these three men who hadn't did this all together in years, all of a sudden connect like a magnet. Whoosh, they were together, you know, and then they began to talk about, you know, spoken word. And there was this one young lady, she asked a unique question. She said, where did the snapping fingers come from? You know, where did the snapping fingers come from? Well, I know, and Jesus goes, I don't know really. Well, they explained where the snapping fingers came from. The snapping fingers came from New York. Because in New York, where they were doing spoken word at, there was a noise ordinance. So the yelling and the clapping couldn't happen. So the snap, snap of your fingers, snap, snap of the fingers became the only noise they could make. So that's where the snapping fingers came from when you hear spoken word. It came from New York because of a noise ordinance. They had to find another way. So it became snap, snap of the fingers, snap, snap of the fingers. Oh, little knowledge this morning.
I just thought it was I thought it was just a cool move that you like we so we so cool, like we don't clap, we just go snap. I thought it was, cause you know that right. The vibe of jazz, it was like spoken word kind of roll with that vibe of jazz, right? And I thought it was just like a cool move. Mm-hmm. No, you telling the history.
It was a noise ordinance. Noise ordinance, yeah.
But that's it.
Well, it would be because you said it like you said, you thought it was cool.
Yeah, I thought right. I'm a 70s baby. Yeah, I'm 41. So when I always thought about spoken word, and I used to see the pictures, you know, and you hear the jazz in the background, and the poet just kind of like the artist, right, doing their piece. I just thought it when they did it because it was just like. Everybody in that vibe was just so cool. Right. I did. You dropping some knowledge on me today. I'm like, no, they had to do it because of noise ordinance. Right. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So you know we are creative.
Very.
So we created another way.
Me and my wife were just speaking on certain things. Me and my wife, we were speaking on how certain things kind of naturally evolve in your culture. Certain things, and as it get passed down, the act get passed down, right. You don't know the historical content behind it. And right now was a perfect example of it. this whole time I'm thinking it was because we were so cool that we don't clap. And you giving me the history of New York, that it was a noise ordinance.
Yes.
Wow, that's dope. That is absolutely dope. I'm so happy I came today. I am so happy I came today. I got something I can take back to my people. Like, yeah, let me show y'all.
And that's it. Because then everybody go, really? Well, like you just said, you thought it was cool.
I just thought, we were just so cool. You know, the black suit, the white shirt. You know, the black hat. Snap, drop some words.
Nah,
so cool. Okay.
It was another thing you figure forced on us to oppress us from enjoying spoken word. But we took that and said, okay, not a problem. We're gonna snap. Okay. We're gonna snap.
It's so cool.
So that's another thing that you can dock on and say that belongs to us.
Yeah. Okay. That is so cool. that is absolutely cool. That is absolutely cool.
Somebody gonna say, "This is what you doing on the radio." Listen, this is what I learned.
And if you haven't been to a spoken word, you should go.
Believe it or not, like I had like a whole little crew. Like when I was at Hunter Army Airfield, it used to be me, this guy named Stetson Mans, and Avery Campbell, and you know, every now and then, like they'll have like a NWR, and then they had like a poetry.
Right.
We actually created a poetry jam. Now, I'm gonna be honest, the guy who I feel like to really fit that bill, like, you know, me and Campbell would be like somebody like kind of like amateur, but in regarding of that art of spoken word, the guy who fit that bill was this dude named Stetson Mans. So we was like his little sidekicks, I guess, because he didn't want to be on stage by himself. Yeah, kind of like the hype, like I like Flavor Flav. He was like Chuck. I was like a Flavor Flav, and me and Campbell like the Flavor Flav, but Stetson, he was like, and we used to always let him go last because we wouldn't dare follow up. So we get the crowd kind of open and allow him to come through with his piece, and he used to just kill it. But yeah, and even then, we had everybody incorporating the snap. And that's what we doing it because we thinking we cool. And the historical like, nah, because the noise orders. Wow. But yeah, I enjoy them. And if it's a situation where I'm available, I definitely will attend. So I'm gonna be looking out for those.
Okay, well, yeah, they did, and that was good because it was a history walk. Okay. And some of the young people there thought that they were the same. And when they heard them doing spoken word, they realized that, whoa. Yeah, spoken word is now your R&B. Yeah, you know, and in a way, it's your R&B now. Just turned around a little bit there, but they got and so it turned out to be. All my first Fridays have a life of their own, and that's what they're geared to have a life of their own. But that one was a history lesson, and for people who never heard it before. And like you said, they asked about the snap, and the guys went straight to it. Hey, this is why you do it. So you had some young people like, whoa. You know, and like you thought it was cool, but now that we're back again for our second show, and now we're gonna hit to the topics of what we actually do, because we had some fun on the first show. We had some fun. We really did. Man, we broke some ice. Yep. You know, so now we're not what you want to call it, strangers anymore. We're all family here.
Yeah, we family now. Family now. Cousin Jesus.
So Jesus, what do you do for it? What do you do for your, I'll say, other life?
For my other life, I empower people through financial knowledge. Like
you're the scary person.
I ain't gonna say scary. What I do, I enlighten people on problems they did not know exist, and then I give them a solution that will catapult them to a whole nother level.
Okay.
So what I don't do, I don't interrupt your current life. I take what you currently do and I enhance it through knowledge, because you'd be surprised some of the things that I've been taught, and when I share the knowledge that I've been taught, I was like, wow, like previously to this, I did not know any of this, and been through college, went through that whole thing, and went to school for business and marketing, and did not learn any of these things. It was like certain information that's being concealed. It's being concealed. And it kind of taps on to that thought that you hear people say, man, just keep working hard, working hard.
Yeah.
But internally, you know that hard work don't pay. Right. And that's because it's a system. And if you don't get yourself out of that system and into the appropriate system, you will never flourish. You know what I'm saying? You never flourish. It's almost like you deal with poems. You heard of that Tupac, that black rose?
Yes.
All right, so my perfect analogy to that black rose that grew up out of that concrete is, first question, is concrete the perfect environment for a florist to grow a rose? If you opened up a florist, if you opened up a florist shop, would you throw your seeds of roses under a slab of concrete?
Nope.
Which means that, you know, even though it's awesome that somehow this rose cracked through, so you want to praise that rose, but in all actuality, is that the right environment to grow a rose garden? It isn't. So what I do is I show people how to remove themselves out of that system. Whoever that florist was that decided to grow roses under concrete, that was not the proper environment. So I show people like, hey, take that same effort and put yourself in a different environment and watch you flourish, and watch you're going to naturally flourish. And I show them that through education. So prime example, one of the courses that I provide, I teach people everything how to fix and repair their credit, like those credit bureaus should be doing.
Right.
Like those credit agencies should be doing. But if you don't have the knowledge yourself, you're just hoping that this person provide quality service. So what happens if I teach you step by step and give you every tool required where you can fix and repair your credit yourself? That means you can monitor it all the way through. Yeah. Simultaneously, you have a skill set that you can monetize. Because one thing that we do know, there are going to be certain people who don't want to learn. They would prefer to pay somebody.
Yes.
And now since they prefer to pay somebody, when it makes sense for them to pay somebody they believe they can trust.
Amen.
Somebody they can hold personally accountable, that they're going to walk them through this whole entire process. Well, you say going knee to knee, elbow to elbow, face to face. When it makes sense for you to pay somebody along that line, I empower people to do that. So simultaneously, because one thing I've learned, and it kind of brought to my attention, that the system is pipelining our kids to jobs. So ain't nothing wrong with a job. And a job is a beautiful thing. But now they throwing other obstacles in the way.
Right.
Because at one point in time, if you come from a background where you're financially uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? I don't like calling somebody poor or poverty. You financially uncomfortable. And that probably may not be your fault. It may not be your fault. It's just an environment that you grew up in.
Right.
So you're going to school and you're getting good grades because you want to strive to move forward. So let's say you get a partial scholarship to a college. Working is going to be impossible if you're carrying 15 to 18 credits.
Right.
Because each of these professors / instructors believe that their class is the only class that matter. So even working part-time becomes almost impossible. Simultaneously, there's an algorithm going on where these credit card companies are throwing credit cards to somebody who's 18, 19 years old and struggling, and they want to live. Even though going to school is fun and, you know, that's supposed to be your primary ordeal, but I'm still hungry. I'm tired of this ramen, this chicken ramen. I only can do this for so long, and I got this credit card with a limit on it of maybe a couple of thousand. I need to live. I need to, you know, I believe I deserve. And you hear that? You remember, you know, people like that?
Yeah.
So they end up putting themselves in debt. Simultaneously, they sacrificing putting themselves in debt, and then they're sacrificing their credit score. So they're networking with the right people. So they got the right referrals. They got the right network. So you got the GPA of a 3.4. You have the reference, and you got the degree. But now the company's telling you you don't got the right credit score.
Right.
So in their mind, I'm sacrificing all of this. I'm willing to put myself in this debt because in the end state, when I finally get the job, you know, it's going to push everything. It's because it's an investment. In the end, that investment into themselves, they feel like this investment is going to pay off on the back end, but they throwing additional obstacles in the way. So what would happen if you take that same 18-year-old and they took a credit repair class where now they understand how to fix and repair their own credit the correct way, right? And you got them in the environment where there's going to be some juniors and seniors who don't want to pay, who don't want to learn how to fix their credit. They will prefer to pay. And let's say the student has about 3 or 4 clients that they can work on their own flex time, and they start fixing about 3 people credit a week. And that's like $900 a week. That's because whatever you want to charge, because you're an entrepreneur, you can charge them what you feel is fair. But I definitely believe $300 to $400 for somebody to sit down and fix your credit per client. That would be fair. Would you consider that fair?
That's fair.
So that'd be anywhere from $900 to $1,200 a week, potentially, or whatever that you feel like you need to sustain your lifestyle, so you don't even have to put yourself in debt.
Right.
So now when you graduate and you got the degree, you got the GPA, you got the referrals, the reference letters, and now you got the credit score.
Get an apartment. A lot of people get out of college and they can't even
exactly. Exactly.
They got to move back home with mom.
So what we're doing is we empowering people with knowledge from within. Okay. And then this knowledge also will give you an additional skill set. But that word I just spoke on, that's just like the tip of the ice, because I could sit here and lecture for a whole hour about everything that we do, and I don't want to occupy all the time. But that's pretty much one of the flagship services that we provide. Okay,
so by accident, sheer accident, how can someone who's listening find you?
Oh, you can.
The fastest way.
The fastest way. Text me your name, hashtag KISS 103.1 FM. At this telephone number right here, area code 254-715-3989. Then from there, we can meet on social media. We're going to meet offline first, then we can meet on social media. Right. So just text me at area code 254-715-3989, hashtag KISS 103.1 FM.
Okay, so I have my question, and Kima going to know kind of what my question going to be. Okay, you said I can text you at that number, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then we could talk.
Yes.
And then you said we can do what after that?
Then we can meet on social media.
Okay, I don't do social media.
Okay, well exactly. Well, if you don't do social media, then we can just meet in person. We can meet in person. Okay. Elbow to elbow, kneecap to kneecap, and eyeball to eyeball, and we can start discussing.
Because you'd be surprised how many people I'm gonna say that to, and they go, "What?" you know, they go, "What?" And I'm gonna say, "Okay," because when we talk about doing business, we have to remember all the other people.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people tend to say, okay, well, just hit me up on social media. And the person say, I don't do it. You go, what? And, you know, all of a sudden, the person tell you, I don't do it. So you don't know what to tell them back. You know what I mean? You don't know. You like, well, I don't know. You know, you get to the syndrome of, wait a minute, hold up. Oh, yeah. You know, then it becomes where you've moved yourself all the way into, so you think everybody's in there. So just hit me up there. And you walk off and the person says, well, I don't do it.
Wow.
So you got to stop and go, so how do we do this?
Wow.
And we've got there.
I think one of the key points that even Kimo was saying, you definitely elaborating on, is let's get back to the root. At some point in time, the root of the tree cannot be avoided. Right. Everybody loves the fruit, but you got to put nutrients in that root if you want to sustain that tree. Yeah. So, like, everything you're saying, like, he is absolutely on point, and it's kind of like definitely like a reminder. And a lot of times you would take that for granted because everybody think the tree is good. Yeah. But when the last time people don't fertilize the tree? Everybody love the fruit, but how many times people don't took the time to go out there and fertilize that tree? So, this is definitely a good show and an awesome reminder. Yeah. It maybe got me thinking, I'm like, man, you know, I need to call somebody. I need to go back to my index, you know. And
even if you have one, you know, you're like, okay, what do I do with all this? But people forget. And people will come on the show and they'll tell me about an event. And I say, how can people reach you? On social media, Twitter, they'll give me all of this. And then I say, okay, I don't have any of that. They go, what? I don't have any of that.
That's why I was like, hey, I ain't 100% retarded. I'm a little bit. I didn't even mention no social media. I was like, no, telephone number. I was like, I know some people don't even know how to email. So I was like, okay, just hit me on a telephone number. Text me. Yeah. Oh, man. You'd be surprised. I ran across a few people that can't even, because I deal with people of all age ranges. Yeah. And some of them not even good at comfortable at texting. Right. And definitely when you talk about shoot me an email, that throw a few people off, depending on the age bracket.
In abbreviations. I don't get all that. see me at the FYT. What does that mean?
No, I'm just, I'm following y'all lead. You know, I know we're supposed to be on business, but you're absolutely right. And, you know, I said on the second part, I would elaborate just a little bit more about something that's going to bring some awareness to everybody. So here's one of the things. What if the powers to be, because we're kind of on social media and then I'm going to drift to business.
Right.
What if the powers to be, let's say Chemo had the powers to be right now at this moment. Okay. And I want every person listening out there to understand what I'm about to say. I have the power to be, and I say, starting right now, social media, every platform on social media is going to cost you $89.99 per month if you want to use it. Period. What do you think is going to happen?
It crash.
So exactly. So let's expand on that, because we're in the business side. This brother has lots of information. Okay. But see, the problem that I have with that is if I was to put a price on it on social media, or if I was to get rid of it, period, if his business was only solely, just not all of it, but just a part of it with that influence and access on social media, he would disappear. I would not know about him. You would not know about him. Nobody would know about him except for the people that is in his immediate circle that he meets with face to face.
Right.
This is how infrastructure was built way before we got these cell phones. Oh, yeah. All right. And that's why I speak on it, because I know for a fact that my business, okay, that I do is not based on social media. It's not based on those people. I don't care if they get rid of it or not. If they put a price on it, I still wouldn't pay, because I don't do my business that way. A lot of people don't understand that. And I know that it's difficult for them to understand it. So I'm not going to go into that. But at the same time, you have to understand how the business is being made. Okay. How did Walmart become Walmart when there was no social media? Did we forget about that? Did we forget about how IBM became IBM before there was no social media? Well, in this day and age, social media does not dictate how far your business goes. Okay, I'm just going to say that. It doesn't. Yes, it's a tool. Yes, it gives you access to people, but it doesn't define where you go. It doesn't define whether you make $1 million or $1 billion. And I know that for a fact. Okay, because some people won't tell the truth. All right. I've talked to extensive business owners and my colleagues, multimillionaires and billionaires. My mentor, as Jesus said, was a billionaire. And he taught me in the financial game as well. And he taught me things I never thought I would learn. But that's why I'm so effective today. There was no social media when he did what he did with me. But the point that I'm getting to is, you know, you got all of these mentors out there and you got all these people in business. You don't see them on social media because they're making deals across the table. That's where I'm at. I'm not sitting in a room with people on their phone not paying attention to me. I'm sitting in a room where ain't nobody got no cell phones. They leave them in the bucket and we do business. That's what business is about. You want to do business, then do business. But don't think that because you have a certain skill or because you're pretty or because, you know, you can cut hair, that you can put it on those free platforms and expect to make millions. It just doesn't work that way. For some people, yes. Okay. But it's what you don't see, exactly what he said, college educated or not. All right. We know you spend 4 years in college, you get a degree, and you come out like I did, and you're still confused. Like, where do I start and what do I do? All right. But here's the point. If you got tools like this, and if you're around the right people who know how to use those tools become great assets. Mm-hmm. It's the knowledge that we all bring together that's being divided, in my opinion, okay, by social media. Everybody has an opinion of what I post. If you go to my social media pages right now, I don't even control my own social media pages. I don't. Mm-hmm. I have people who do that.